Hello, my name is Matthew Litzenberger, and welcome back to another installment, our first installment of 2025. How is the Chicago real estate market? In these videos, we take a look at real estate metrics, supply, demand, speed, and negotiations to understand the context of where the Chicago real estate market is. Inventory of homes for sale communicates and is telling a message about supply. How much inventory is there? Matthew, who cares about inventory? Buyers and sellers, really everybody. They affect sellers and buyers equally. Inventory of homes for sale. The reason I like looking at this chart is the historical inventory of homes for sale. This gives you a good context of recent memory with the Chicago real estate market. So here, this graph shows you 2007 all the way to 2024. There are three different storylines in this graph here. So 2007 to 2012, this is going to be the housing crisis. The housing crisis saw a surplus of inventory, unlike anything that was there in recent memory, and maybe not as many people who could purchase it. Everybody had a property. A lot of people were trying to give it away, was unsuccessful in doing so. A lot of properties entered in foreclosure, short sale, the housing crisis. Then the market started to go to a new normal. And you see this transitionary year between 2013 and 2014. And then you see this new storyline between 2014 and 2020 where there was some sense of relevancy. Some people like using the word balanced. Some people like using the word normal. I put those in air quotes. I don't know what that is. What's balanced? What's normal? What's a healthy level of inventory? Is there a healthy level of inventory? Does that even, I know it makes sense saying it, but is there even such a thing like that? Okay, so this 2014 to 2020 shows us there was a regular rhythm to the market. Sellers and buyers kind of knew the dance. There was going to be properties. Those properties were going to sell. Buyers were going to buy things. And if you didn't get anything, well, you could just wait till next year. Until the third storyline, the pandemic. So 2020 to 2024. The big story in the narrative in here, and the reason why I start with this is because there's historically low inventory. There is no getting around it. Taking a look at the charts, looking at the numbers, inventory is low. Now the question is that bad? For buyers, there's not many options. For sellers, well, it may not be the worst thing. How does inventory go back up? How does inventory get added to the market? And that's the conversation going forward. One of the metrics, and this kind of brings us into the next chart, is new listings. So inventory of homes for sale gives you like a broad overview, but new listings takes a look at the week by week view. And this is one of the metrics that I will be closely looking at in 2025. Taking a look here at the last 3 months, this is giving us week over week data for the entire city of Chicago. And for those of you that are sitting across the other side of the screen saying, Matthew, city of Chicago, well, that's a very broad area. There's many different areas there. I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. If you're looking for things that are more local to your real estate market area, feel free to reach out to me and I can get you real estate data that is more relevant to your subject market area. But to just facilitate a conversation, I just use the city of Chicago. Resuming our regular schedule program, the dotted lines are this time last year. So what happened last year compared to this year, which is the bold lines, orange, attached, blue, detached. The story is this time last year had more new listings than this year. I don't think this is any cause for alarm at this moment because it's, well, the first week. But we'll see going forward as we look at week 2, 3, 4, and 5 if the current year is starting to outpace 2024. If that's the case, then inventory will go up. If supply goes up, demand will probably follow with it, which will be an interesting thing to kind of look at, navigate. This is supply. Okay, let's go to under contract next. Talking about supply, I don't think it's any surprise that we're going to talk about demand. So under contract shows us demand. These are the amount of properties that are contingent or pending. contingent, or pending in a given week. The takeaway from this chart is we're basically on pace for what we were doing last year. Let's go ahead and take a look at market time. Market time in the month of December, for better or worse, market time is always looking a month behind. So we won't have January numbers until February. We didn't have December numbers until January. Does that make sense? Okay, so December. So for detached single family, if you listed a property, it takes about 70 days to sell the thing. And once again, this is going to be dependent upon, we're looking at the entire city of Chicago. This will change depending on your subject market area, property characteristics, property criteria. But if you want information that's that detailed, you can reach out to me. Attached single is going to be condos, so about 70 days. The last one that we're going to look at here is percent of original list price received. This is communicating compared to where the property was listed, where are the offers coming in at on average. Looking at the average, about for detached single, we're looking at 98. And then for attached, we're looking at, let's just call it 99. If you're looking for things that are more local to your real estate area, on my website, you can go to more local market stats, and this will take you to monthly updated reports. These reports update every month, and you can click here and find whatever area and or county that you want to know the information about, and you can get reports that are more tailored to a place of relevance for you. I do want to talk about one more chart. This is the weekly market snapshot provided by Midwest Real Estate Data. And this set of graphs has one of my favorite charts, which talks about showings. So this is showing us real estate showing activity in the MLS. So when showings get scheduled, that data can be tracked. That data is then put in here on this graph. Let's take a look at Q1. And I'm going to just look at 2024 and 2025. For those who are wondering, the first 11 days of the year, that data is collected, and then that is the baseline that is used for the remainder of the year. So that's why you can't go to January 1, because again, that's going to be that data, the amount of showings that happened the week 1 is going to be the baseline for whether it's going to be positive or negative in correlation to that week. So we can see 2024 saw a dip. Why? I think there's a couple of answers, and I haven't dug deep enough. My first guess is going to be the weather. It probably was fairly cold, and you can see some of how weather or snow or blizzard. Sometimes you can see like, oh, why did it look like people took a week off there? Sometimes it's major holidays, sometimes it's elections, sometimes it's the weather. So you can see that the market for 2024 did bounce back. The orange is going to be what's happening currently. And there's not too many insights that I can give you today, but tune in next week and the week after, and we'll talk more about what happens here. The reason why this is interesting, in my opinion, is because this metric, showings lead to under contract. Under contract is demand, and demand leads to closed transactions. And that shows how are buyers feeling. If buyers are feeling like they can go out and purchase it, they're going to schedule showings. If buyers can't, well, then they won't. 2023. So this was the beginning of 2023 here. 2022, very similar to 2023, and then 2021. So my name is Matthew Litzenberger. I'll see you on the next one.